Hi there, this is your Love Tap video on how affirmations can rewire your brain. Before I talk about affirmations and how they can work to rewire your brain, I want to talk for a moment about the organization or structure of your mind. So your mind has three distinct parts. The first one being your conscious mind. Those are the things that you're aware of, you're awake to, things that come out of your mouth, thoughts that you have, things that you're awake to and aware of. But below your conscious mind, there is a subconscious and an unconscious mind. And those are things that are below the surface. It's written, most of the research agrees that your conscious mind, the part that you're aware of and awake to, represents roughly about 10%. So this below the surface, the subconscious and unconscious mind represents about 90%. What happens with the mind is, according to the research that I've looked at in brain science, which is fascinating if you're interested, maybe not so much if you're not, is that it is actually the subconscious below the surface and the unconscious mind that actually drives your life. So if that's the case and you're not aware of what's in there, that can be disempowering. So there's lots of different ways to get at what is in your subconscious and unconscious mind, but they typically take a fair amount of work and some effort. A shorter side route in, if you will, is to use affirmations. And by using affirmations, you're basically you don't know what's in your subconscious or unconscious mind unless you do the work separate, but you're basically kind of reprogramming what's below the surface in the subconscious and unconscious mind. So it's another way to rewire your brain, which rewiring your brain, by the way, if you're not aware, falls under the scientific category of neuroplasticity of the brain, which is totally amazing. It's really exciting. Very exciting. Not well known though. So if you go around start talking about neuroplasticity of the brain to your friends or other people, don't be surprised if they're like, what is that? So an affirmation is quite simply a statement or a phrase, or it could be two sentences. It's something that you're going to say out loud and or think in your head to kind of reprogram what's below the surface in your subconscious and unconscious mind. And that's really helpful because from all the work I've done in myself and all the work I've done in coaching people, a lot of that stuff that's in your subconscious, unconscious mind, it's really kind of nasty. So let's talk about some examples of affirmations in case you're new to affirmations. So an affirmation is anything that kind of inspires you or lights you up, and it's a positive. It's an empowering statement. So, for example, an empowering statement could be, I'm good enough, or I'm enough. One of the people that I've worked with, they used this statement: happiness is a choice, and I'm choosing to be happy. There are plenty of things written on the World Wide Web about affirmations. It could be anything that lights you up and inspires you, but what's going to happen is you're going to become awake to what you're saying about yourself and what you're thinking about yourself. That's the first part. You have to become awake and aware. And when you're in this process of becoming awake and aware about things that you say about yourself, you can invite people to support you. So for example, 10 years ago or more, I realized I was very hard on myself, unnecessarily, of course. And so I invited my children, who were young at the time, to kind of call me out if they noticed that I was saying anything or doing anything that represented me being hard on myself. Well, they loved it, and boy, they didn't have to wait long to go, oh, I think that's an example of you being hard on yourself. And I'd go, oh, wow, yeah, I think you're right. So first you have to notice and have some awareness. Once you hit that moment where you're like, oh, yeah, I just had this negative thought about myself or a disempowering thought, you want to immediately replace that with your affirmation. I'm good enough. I'm enough. I'm a wonderful person. Happiness is a choice, and I choose to be happy. There's just so many affirmations you could use. What that's going to do is it's going to start to eventually go down into your subconscious and your unconscious mind and start to reprogram your brain using neuroplasticity of the brain. So I recommend to people that I work with to have your affirmations written down in a visible form. Put one in the bathroom, in your car, wherever you are, wherever you are going to be, so you see it and you want to say it. And the more frequently you do that, the more quickly you will start to rewire your brain. Depending on your personality, depending upon your self-esteem, depending on a lot of different factors, it could go very quickly, or it might take a little bit longer. I mean, it would take significantly longer if you're a pessimist and a very negative thinker. But anyway, using affirmations is a great way to build yourself up and start to get in a shorter, more direct fashion of what's in your subconscious, unconscious mind. And that can help you if you have low self-esteem, if you're depressed, if you're in a funk, if life just isn't going your way or you're not happy. Affirmations can be a very powerful tool to rewire your brain. I hope that's been helpful. If so, feel free to hit the share button. If you have questions about this, please let me know. I'm happy to help you, because my role in life, the thing that makes me really joyous, is helping other people find their power and find their joy and find their happiness. Thank you so much. Bye.